These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Frank 26, Iraq Boots on the Ground report. Firefly, TV says we are moving towards monetary sovereignty. Frank says the reason they tell you this is because it's moving towards a monetary sovereign national currency that will replace the 3-0 notes that are worthless and also replace the American dollar. They're not hiding anything. It's not a secret. Everything is out in the open. Militiaman says, World Bank article, the part here I like the most, quote, an unexpected influx of imports driven by the dinar revaluation and significant increase in government expenditures, unquote. Militiaman says, if you think about this for a minute, if they give the citizens purchasing power, are they not going to drive up an influx of imports because everybody has a little bit more money to maybe buy a new car, carpets, paint their house, build an addition to their home? They're going to have that extra money for those kids. The World Bank has an expectation of influx of imports due to what? Driven by the dinar revaluation. Mark Z via PDK question, how do we hold on to faith when every day is Groundhog Day? Mark Z says the problem is we are trying to pick the timing of this historic event. We're looking at all the pieces and trying to guess the timing. You're watching it happen. All the greatest economic voices are telling us it's coming. It's not Groundhog Day, even though we are not across the finish line yet. All right, Pimpy says pay stations around the country where you can cash in your dinars. He says she's full of crap pay stations. I guess that's the same as redemption centers, right? Pimpy says, let me put it this way. How does everybody else deal with international currencies? Why would Iraq be special for some reason? It's not like Iraq's only currency to be devalued and possibly revalued. All international currencies are done the same way. Pimpy says there's no 800 numbers, there's no redemption centers, there's no pay stations, or however you want to cleverly call these things. It's all bull. IQD is bought and sold the same way as all the other currencies. You can go to any exchange location, swap out your currencies, or buy currencies there. Go to any international airport, they will have a currency exchange center there. No, there's no special stations planted all around the world specifically for the IQD. All right, Breitling says for Iraq, it's not a question. It's more dollars coming. If more dollars are coming into Iraq, it's do average citizens have access to them. That's what they're trying to fight. They want to take the dollar out so the supply times velocity of the dinar goes up. All right, Frank 26 says you are now standing on the grounds of RD and you're soon to walk into the float. These are the steps. This is the journey you've taken, whether you recognize it and understand it or not. The monetary reform is moving forward beautifully. All right, Walking Stick, Iraqi bank friend Aki update says there is a meeting going on in Dubai. What they're doing is finalizing the exchange rate. They've got the currency in position, and what they need to do is get the exchange rate in position too. All right, Claire article quote, government source starting to implement the banking arrangements agreement with Turkey. Quote, the central bank has reinforced tens of millions of euros as an initial payment to cover retailers' imports from Turkey. All right, Mark Z via PDK says Iraq has told us there will be no budget deficit in 2024. Next year's budget starts January 1st. Without a revalued currency, their deficit should be over $100 billion. So the only way they can not have a budget deficit is with a change of value in their currency, and that is news worth reporting. And Iraq says they will be totally de-dollarized by January 1st. They are telling us what they are doing. Frank 26 article quote, the President of the Republic, there is no dollar crisis in Iraq. Of course not. There's a new national currency and a new exchange rate coming, and everyone knows it. All right, Militiaman says in July, the central bank governor said the project to delete the zeros off the currency exchange rate still exists. I think it's fascinating and awesome. All right, Pimpy says we know elections are coming up and we know what happened last election. I'm not trying to jinx it, but we're definitely hoping that everything goes a lot smoother than it did last election. All right, last we have Mark Z via PDK question. I heard that the rate at the banks would be different from those at redemption centers. Is this true? Mark Z says that is what we have been told, that the rates will be higher at redeeming bank centers than if you just walked in off the streets. Question: where are those redeeming banks? Mark Z said they will be all over. They could be right down the street from you. They're not going to give us redemption center locations until it is time to set appointments for security reasons. It is a well guarded secret for now. Comment: I have seen photos of banks getting ready. Mark Z says, in my opinion, they are clearly gearing up.